Sunday, everyone. I hope you're all having a great Sunday. It is that fantastic time of the week, well, every 2 weeks, where I hop on and we come and we talk. And tonight I have a fantastic guest, and I cannot wait for you to see. If you saw the banner, you have a good idea of who it could be, and I'm going to bring him on. Introducing Jason. Hello, honey.
Oh.
I have to ask, was that the Chucky soda?
I did. I found it here. It's the Chucky soda. It's like a fruit punch type soda. It's pretty good.
My husband bought me the same thing.
Nice. It's the only one I found here. Surprisingly, in Canada, we don't get a lot of the same themed stuff that you get in the States. So when I saw it, I snatched it up. It seems to be Walmart in Canada ever since the kind of politics and the trade and all that stuff. Ever since that started to happen, the Walmarts in Canada started to bring more and more American things. It was almost like a smart ploy. Canada's as a whole starts removing American things from the shelves, like alcohol and stuff, and then Walmart's like, we'll just sneak the American stuff in, and then it'll sell. It's working.
So it could be a conspiracy. We don't know.
It could very well be. I'm all about it. So
right. I'm gonna give it a couple minutes for everyone to hop on. Maybe say hi. I see we have a couple of viewers. How are you, Jason?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm writing. I'm good. I'm exploring. My mind is obsessed with the paranormal, so there's always stuff to talk about.
I have to ask, how did you get into the paranormal? I don't think I've ever had this conversation with you last time you were up.
It started as a very early on thing. I was seeing a spirit. I talk about it a lot in my first book, my first experiences. I was seeing like a spirit dancing on the wall, like a shadow. And then as I got into adolescence, I seen a man standing in my doorway to my bedroom in the middle of the night. That scared the living daylights out of me. And then the next book I have coming out, you'll get more in-depth details about all the paranormal adventures I did in my early years, and finding out that friends I had similar interests in the unknown, I guess you would say. And you just start to go out adventure and thrill seeking. Ghost hunting in the early days was just thrill seeking.
Yep.
You're out looking for ghosts and looking to get scared. And we did, and we ran from a lot of things. And that's basically how the ball got started, right? And then you start researching and you start looking into all kinds of things. And then I spent well over 20 years just researching ghosts.
Oh, wow.
And then a few years ago, something called a pandemic hit, and I needed to find something to watch. I had seen everything there was to see on paranormal TV. I had a ton of books, and I felt like I just didn't know where to turn. And somebody online pointed me towards Greg and Dana Newkirk's Hellier. Ooh. And I watched Hellier, and my rabbit hole just blew up and expanded. And all of a sudden, I had an interest in everything cryptid and UFO based and all kinds of subject matter. My world just blew up. And so now I'm obsessed, and I can't stop diving down rabbit holes like crazy and just talking about all kinds of strangeness. And every time the topic just goes really weird, and it never ends where it starts. And if you have more questions than you have answers, then you're following the right path, I believe.
Oh, 100%. Because like, if you run out of questions, like, then you know everything. You can't know everything. I'm sorry. It's not possible. You may think it's possible. It's not. There's too much out in the world that you may not see, hear, feel, touch.
That's it. There's just so much.
I do have to say, I have a couple of interesting, funny, well, kind of scary things that happened this week in my house with the paranormal that we'll have to dive into later. Not impressed with the spirits of my house. I won't lie. I'm not impressed with them. They kind of irked me this week.
My house has been quiet lately, which is not a normal thing. So
I wish my house was quiet. So it kind of fluctuates depending. I'm definitely a firm believer that I think my emotions tend to peak things sometimes. So if I'm really stressed out, things peak a lot higher in my house. And I've been a little stressed earlier this week, but things really definitely escalated. And I actually caught some evidence on my phone for once, which is very hard. If you're in the paranormal field, you know how hard it is to catch any form of evidence on your phone or camera or whatever. Caught one of my daughter's toys going off, and the only way it goes off is you spin the dial, and it says, "Oh, spin me in." And I'm like, "How'd you do that?" Oh yeah,
we have a series of cameras set up in the house here because we do have a large collection of, I mean, mostly books, but I do have haunted objects in the house as well.
You do?
And I try to keep cameras on them, but I haven't caught any movement and stuff. But a lot of the activity happens outside the cameras, as just like any other investigation happens, right? As soon as you turn the camera off, something happens.
You gotta be like, all right, come here, come get the treat, come get the treat. Oh, sorry, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, but I do find anytime there's any kind of stress or negativity or aggravations or anything, and I'm not talking about like full blown fights in the house or anything, but like just like minor stresses and negativities and things seem to ramp up activity. And it's almost like the energy that's there in residence to the house is feeding off negativity.
Yep.
And I find once we turn that into some kind of positivity or loving energy, the activity completely dissipates or go away.
Yeah.
The only other trigger that we know about in our house is that the threat of banishment seems to work. So anytime we prepare to do something to get rid of the negativity, it's like the negativity goes, okay.
Like, sorry. I didn't do it.
I'm sorry, I'll stop. And it just stops. And it stops for a while. So
Okay, that's interesting.
it's almost like bluffing in cards or something, but it's not quite a bluff because we do have things that we can try and pour our attention into to get rid of it. And I think it knows that. So it's just like, okay, I'll behave.
Like,
just don't do that thing.
And you called my bluff. That's basically what's happening. You called my bluff. I'm not scary anymore. All right, I'm gonna quick do a couple say hi's. We have Mark. Hi, Mark. I hope you are doing very, very well. I believe him and Bridget and her daughter just did a paranormal investigation. I forget where. Mark, write it in the comments because I totally forget where. They just did a location all together. They had a little group session. We have Amanda. Hello. We have Debbie. Hello. Shock.
Surprise.
We have Damon. Good morning, kind sir. Hope you are doing well and you're not selling anything. I don't know, any body parts. We had a funny joke earlier this week about selling arms. Arms are a hot market. Sometimes you got to sell that stuff. We got Brandy. Hi, honey. I hope you are doing wonderful. And oh my goodness, there's so many comments. We have Denise. Pac-Man Paranormal is not on tonight. They are taking a break. Totally understandable. Been there, done that. Sometimes you got to take a break on a Sunday. There's so much to do and not enough time. Oh, we have Kaylee. Hi, honey. I hope you are doing fantastic. Wow, there's so many comments. Guys, I love this. But yeah. Let's see. Oh, Mark answered. That's where it was. I have never been to that location. I've always wanted to go. Brain. I want to say it incorrectly. Hang on. I'm going to find the name of it.
OSPH? Where's that? Is that Ohio State? What is that? I should know this. I feel terrible.
I know. I'm terrible with locations. I won't lie. I'm terrible with locations. But I've seen Mark post about this location many, 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 many times.
I'm going to make up the acronym. It's for the Ottawa Society of Popsicle Hoarders. Denise. Oh, no. It's for popsicle hoarding.
It's for popsicle hoarding? Denise fixed it. Old South Pittsburgh Hospital.
That is a location. See, this is why I should know it, because that's a location I would love to go to. It's on my list.
It's on your list. I am curious. What locations have you been to?
I always love to. last year we did a trip through West Virginia, so I got to do Point Pleasant. We did a few days there searching for Mothman, and hi Sarah. And then we went from there. We went to Trans-Allegheny. We did West Virginia State Penitentiary, Moundsville. Then we went up to Hillview Manor. Earlier in the year, we did Rolling Hills in New York. I've been to Hinsdale and Wildwood a few times. So the list in the States is growing very much so. And then there's obviously a handful of places in Ontario, Canada that I've done as well, and stuff we have coming up too. So it's
Ooh.
it's been in the 2 years that I started exploring in the States, like we've been hitting a lot of places. So I feel like I've been doing the paranormal for well over 25 years, but we decided to crawl out from underneath my rock in the last few years and start exploring in the States. And it's just so much, there's no better way to say it. There's so much better exploring the paranormal in the States than it is in Canada. It's just different. That's all. It's not that we don't have good stuff. It's just different. And it's easier access down there.
Yeah. What locations in Ontario have you investigated? Because I'm curious.
I just did Fort Henry in Kingston. We spent the night sleeping in Fort Henry.
You slept.
We got to, yeah, we got to sleep in the
Ooh.
fort alone. And they don't like, it's not like hotel service. They roll out the old style cots right inside the fort and you sleep on those cots. And it's still stone from like the 1700s. This fort, it's along the St. Lawrence River. So those things were built during well before the 1812 war between U.S. and Canada. So they were fortified along the river, and there's all kinds of stories from that fort. There's a lot of local places around here, like haunted pubs. We have a road that's called Ghost Road, to the point where like kids will spray paint the rock on the end of the road, this big boulder, and put Ghost Road on the rock. And it has like a phantom motorcyclist that drives down the road. We have a cemetery, and it's in Ajax, Ontario, Ajax Pickering area, and it's actually called Salem Cemetery. So has nothing to do with Salem, Massachusetts at all, but it is called Salem, and it is extremely haunted. There's a picture of me that I've circulated around before of a reflection of a Wendigo in a window looking at me while I'm looking at the building. It's pretty terrifying to
Yeah.
me.
Oh. Ew.
And there's so many places. We did Black Creek Pioneer Village, so it's like an old pioneer village that they put together in northern Toronto. And the Haunted Walk Company puts on a fantastic tour using like old Victorian early spiritualism style investigating, so like seances and magic sigils and scrying mirrors and different things like that. And then they introduce a little bit of new technology towards the end. But I literally hear like disembodied voices coming from some of those houses and stuff, which is really cool.
Ooh.
And I mean, the list is moving on and on. The end of the month, I'm going to the old Ottawa jail to spend the night in a jail cell there, which would be really fun.
Gonna bring up Sarah's comment.
These paranormals are not because they're far away, but because of their roots and culture. Um, it's a loaded question that adds a lot of topic to it. I think Canadian people, as a society, see the paranormal very much similar to the way everybody in the States, and it's very divided. There's a lot of cultural beliefs. Certain things can only be done certain ways and stuff like that. But I find, as a general in whole, the society that investigates paranormal in Canada, they seem to be stuck in like the 90s TV paranormal investigating type styles. So there's still a lot of using dowsing rods, and a lot of people are mediums up here. So everybody's telling you what's going on. It's a lot of metaphysical and not a lot of paranormal. So we don't have like paranormal stores. Like I go down and visit Joe at Paranormal Oddities in Buffalo, in Depew, New York, just outside of Buffalo there. He has a paranormal store that covers everything. But here you would just get a metaphysical store. So a lot of stones and a lot of witch stuff, a lot of people claiming to be witches and stuff like that. Um, but when it comes to locations are not generally advertised as somewhere that you can go and investigate overnight. It's not like you can just rent out Hinsdale House, or you can rent out Wildwood, or you can rent out the Shanley, or wherever you can rent out and do an investigation.
Yeah.
That's not so much of a normal thing here.
Hmm.
There's some groups like the Haunted Walk or Paranormal Seekers in Ontario that will host public events that you can go to, but they work in conjunction with those locations. But those locations aren't just renting them out to everybody. They're usually working hand in hand with a group. And those groups do a really good job of hosting public events and stuff. It's not the same as crossing the border for us. And that's why we have enjoyed coming down, because to pay a price and just sleep in a location overnight is a much different experience than going somewhere for a couple hours and leaving.
Yeah. So I'm curious,
So,
what's your favorite location you've ever been at? I love proposing these questions.
favorite location.
Favorite location.
It's a tough question because I have a draw to a location right now. Um, it's kind of a location that I want to go back and do more work at, but there's a couple that I've wanted to do that. But right now, my favorite location has been the Hinsdale House. It is a very serious haunting. It's
Yep.
a very serious experience. It is when I scale somebody new getting into investigating, I would not recommend going to Hinsdale first.
Yeah.
I would say lead up and get
Yep.
to Hinsdale.
Lead up to
Hinsdale has some very serious stuff. I actually had something from Hinsdale follow me home and give me a very terrifying experience in the middle of the night.
Oh,
And it kind of pulls to me that I want to go back and I want to do more. So that right now is on my radar as one of my favorite locations. But in a close second is Hillview Manor. Hillview Manor rocked me as well, and I have like a vendetta to get back there.
you have a vendetta to get back there?
I do. I don't get rattled very much anymore. So the fact that Hillview Manor rattled me a little bit, it was just when I left, I was like right away. I was like, I gotta go back.
Yeah.
I can't let Hillview Manor win.
But I get that. I've had those feelings before. But Hinsdale, I definitely agree with you. That is definitely not a location you just go as a newbie and just say, "Hey, good luck, have fun." I think I'm pretty sure I talked about the last lab I had. Hinsdale really rocked me as a person. So I got very, very angry in that house for really no reason. Like, it was a person. I'm a very cheerful person, and most of you guys know me. I'm always very happy. I'm always very outgoing. When this woman walked into the house and she started speaking, I literally just wanted to smack her across the face or rip out her throat. Like, she made me so angry, which isn't me as a person. And when I went outside to the sacred tree, I felt so calm out there. Like, it was the best place I could ever be.
Yeah, I had a really cool experience at the Giving Tree, the sacred tree. I had built an offering to the natives of the land using feathers. I have some of those feathers here, actually, not the ones that I gave away, but
Yeah.
extra ones.
Extras.
I had these cool feathers that have skulls on them
Ooh.
painted on there. It's like a raven feather with some skulls, and then I used some other just plain black ones. I created like an offering. I binded it with twine and added some stones to it, and I basically made an offering. Before I did the offering, I actually said like a little speech giving thanks and stuff. And as I placed the offering on the Giving Tree, a wolf way in the distance of the mountains, a single lone wolf, started to howl as soon as I put the thing down. So I thought, that's a really, really, really cool
That's
thing to happen.
an excellent sign
Um,
right there.
and then as far as I know, I don't have any Aboriginal blood in me. But I have Aboriginal friends, so I said I want to try something as a sign of respect, and I wanted to give out kind of like a battle cry or like a call as a sign of respect. And as soon as I yelled as loud as I could in this call noise and stopped, something off in the other direction from the wolf, something yelled back. And everybody in our group heard it, and they were like, "Holy crap, something yelled back." I don't know what it was. I thought maybe it's an echo, but everybody's like, no, the yell was different. It was a different cadence and pitch to it. It was completely different, but it was still a yell back.
Something
So
answers.
I don't know. Maybe it's a really trickster neighbor. I don't know. I don't know if there's any neighbors close
No,
by
there's
there.
really not. So when we were out by the sacred tree, we kept seeing dancing lights everywhere, which was throwing us off. And at first we're like, oh, it has to be the neighbors. And it's like, no, there's really no neighbors close by like that. It's not like in most like development areas, like this is like off in the woods, like you go up a really long driveway, like there's not close neighbors there. So
I see Damien question if it's cryptid.
I
It it
Ooh,
very. I want to answer that. Yeah, in a
yeah,
second. For Damien, the cryptid. It was theorized as well that it could very well have been a Bigfoot callback, and the link that I had to that was that we were there at the end of December, so there was a little bit of snow on the ground, and I did snap a picture, and there is a bare footprint in the ground on the path up to the giving tree.
yep,
So I did snap a picture of that, thinking, "Holy crap! Like maybe this is like I've never really gone on a Bigfoot expedition, and I want to, but when you see a bare footprint in the snow and at the end of December, you question it a little bit, right?"
a little
So,
bit.
and then to hear something howl back or call back to you, maybe Bigfoot whooping or something,
I mean,
it's
it
very
could.
possible.
I was about to say it could be possible up that way, given the mountain range, that there could be Bigfoot
Yep.
territory up
And
there.
there is reported sightings of pukwudgies up there as well. So
Really?
yeah, there's a photo taken at Hinsdale of a pukwudgie hiding behind a tree. So that there is possible that there could be other cryptids up there. Sorry, to get to Sarah's question here, do we think that's what needed? I believe for locations, like a location like
Yeah.
Shanley Be Welcomed. I do think very much so in Ontario and in Canada alone is if we had locations that were privately owned and then opened to the public as you pay a rental fee and get the location overnight or a weekend or whatever. I do think that would be very welcomed. And I think that because anytime I've hosted a public event, it's sold out within a day or two.
Oh wow.
um, because there's not a lot of it and people are wanting it so much that as soon as it becomes available, people just snatch it up right away. So it's always something I'm looking towards doing
Yeah.
is doing more public events because I want to give the people opportunities and hopefully new locations and stuff to do that. So
Oh,
it's just a
100%.
matter of getting location owners to be on board with it. It's almost like there's a taboo here. I don't want anybody to know my house is haunted. Why not? You can make some money.
Yeah. Maybe for a million reasons though, because like I feel like depending on like not age, but like how you were brought up and stuff like that, it could be an actual taboo for them. You know what I mean?
It could be. Yeah, it could just be the way they look at things as well.
You should come to Mid-O. I'm just saying.
Hudson Valley in November and Mid Orange.
We're having a get
Well,
there. You should come.
is is that the one that's happening on November 15th?
Either the 15th or
No, that's the New York one. Sorry.
man, I could tell you right now because it's on extremeticketing.com and I always have it more or less prepared on my phone because I'm constantly looking at it, setting up videos. I believe it's the 8th. And no, it is the 15th. You are correct. It is the 15th.
15th. So there's more than one event going on the 15th, or is it the same event?
Same event. It's the Mid Orange Correctional Facility in New York, the big three of the gathering. That has
Yes, that one. Yep.
yeah.
To be 100% honest, that's something on the radar that we're looking at coming to.
You
So
should
we just
come.
haven't pulled the trigger fully on it yet, but we have made discussions about coming. So
I'm just saying Midow's great and fantastic. It's one of my favorite locations.
it's so good to hear.
I've had many experience there. Oh, I've only been there twice, but I've had a couple of like not I wouldn't say life changing, but definitely changed the way I look at the paranormal sometimes. I was telling Two Brothers Extreme when I was on their live last Friday, when the first time I went there, I was up in the chapel area. So like there's the main building, and then you go up, I think it's like 4 flights of stairs to the chapel. And Bill from Empty Casket was doing a laser grid down the hallway. And I was staring down the hallway. Now, the laser grid that he has, it charges pretty well and it lasts about 15 hours. It wasn't running that long and it died super quickly. Um, when it died, I got up, walked down the hallway, and didn't know why I wanted to walk down the hallway, but I walked down the hallway. I got to this room, and I believe this is the same room that Bill caught with Rob. The on Bill's channel, it looks like a shadow figure, like a hand or something like that in this room. But I believe that could be the room. I could be wrong. But I walk into this room and I just lost all time. Time just disappeared for me. I didn't know where I was, who I was with, how long I'd been in that room. I just remember standing there feeling like I wasn't completely in my body, but I knew I was near my body. And then Bill comes in. He's like, hey, you should come out. And I'm like, I know I should. I don't want to, though. He's like, yeah, you really need to come out then. And I was like, I know, but I don't want to. So he went and grabbed my hand to pull me out, and we both felt me get yanked back, like something was telling, like basically saying, "No, you need to stay." So that was life changing for me because I've never had something like that happen before.
It's a good thing I wasn't there because I would be like, let's leave her there and see what happens.
See what happens? It should be fine, right?
For science.
Science.
Mid Orange is something I 100% want to go to. Oh, the Conjuring House.
I've never gone.
It's such a hot topic too because of the way things have gone down. I'd love to be able to go to the Conjuring House.
I hope one day when things get figured out, leave it like that. I'd love to go there one day. I've always wanted to. But that's one day. That's not today. Sarah's making sure we know it's the 15th. Thank you, my love. We appreciate you.
It's a hot topic. The 15th Mid Orange is a hot topic at our house right now. We are seriously considering going, and being involved in some kind of way.
If I'm not working the event, I am definitely. I already told my husband I'm saving up money and buying my ticket, 100%. Because
yeah, that's what we'd be looking to doing. We're looking at somewhere to stay, maybe, and then buying some tickets to just go and just enjoy the festivities of the event.
There is.
I just love doing that sometimes. You know, no matter how long you're into this field, sometimes just going and enjoying what other people put on can be just as enjoyable as taking part in an investigation or an event in some way. So we'll do that sometimes here. We'll go to a local paranormal group's public event and just pay our way in and just be like, hey, we don't want any spotlight. We don't want to be up on a stage or anything like that. We just want to enjoy what you're doing and take part in whatever you're running.
Yeah.
It's fun that way sometimes.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I'm going to bring up Damien's comment. So, funny thing about the Appalachian Mountains, I was actually talking to my friends last night when we were by the fire. My one friend was telling us she saw what she believed is a skinwalker.
Ooh.
So her one friend, they live right next to the Appalachian Mountain in New Jersey, the path. And they were in their house, the friend's house, talking, having a normal conversation, and they look out the window and they see this weird deer. I don't know how else to describe it. They said it looked like a deer, except the legs were wrong, where they were super, super like long and just not right. And as they're watching this creature, I guess this creature realized that they were watching it, and it quick like shrunk into a wolf and then darted off. That's what they told me, and I was like,
"That's interesting."
I was like, "You didn't take a picture of it, and they're like, "No, we didn't know what was going on." I'm like, Ah,
It's interesting because the similarities of the description of the deer with lanky limbs is very much a description of a Wendigo.
right?
So for it to change and morph, though, definitely gives it the idea of it being a skinwalker, or even possibly we could go even deeper and wonder if it's some kind of chimera,
Ooh, no, I don't know much
right?
about heroes.
Chimeras can change their appearance, or even right down to an inanimate object if they wanted to be a soup can, if they wanted to be, just to hide in the environment. So those
Oh,
cryptids can be very tricky, right? And
oh,
even if she tried to take a picture of this cryptid being, there's no way of knowing if that picture would have came out. It
yeah.
might have looked like a picture taken with a potato, much like every Bigfoot photo.
It's a potato. She did draw it though, and I asked her if she needs to send it to me because
That's
I'm very
cool.
curious of what she saw. And they ended up calling her twin sister, and they're like, "You won't believe what we just saw. Like, we don't know what we just saw, but we just saw this." And then
Hmm.
they called me, and they're like, "Sandy, is this normal?" I'm like, I mean, depending on your day, yeah, sure. Let's go with that theory.
It's normal for some people, but probably not for most.
Not for most. Not for most.
You think, is it trickster cloaking that's raising the bar? Yeah. I mean, see, and Denise has Bigfoot photos. So I need to go on an excursion. I think that's what we're gonna have to do. We were talking about this previously.
Mhm.
2026, we're gonna have to have some kind of Bigfoot. I don't want to say hunt. Hunt's not the right word, and I've
No.
been told that's not the right word. But an excursion, an adventure.
Excursion, exploration,
Mhm.
and go to Denise's place, which Denise, I'm gonna want to see those Bigfoot photos. I'm just saying. I
I
saw
just want to
Kaylee.
go in the woods and smack some branches on some trees and make some whooping noises in the woods and see what happens.
Yeah. Um, I have heard Squatchman is phenomenal. Rob and Sarah have
Mhm.
both met him. I believe Kaylee has. Brain. Who else? Danny. I think Danny. He has Danny. I could be wrong. Danny, if I'm wrong, I'm so sorry. Fort Duffield.
I know somebody else who is big on Fort Duffield as well and is an author as well and quotes on and on about Fort Duffield, how great it is. I'd love to check that place out as well.
They do not do whooping or banging on trees.
They
All right.
don't whoop or bang on trees. Well,
Then
I
what do you
mean, you don't have to, but I will for you.
let's test it out.
For science. They can follow me home to Canada.
Oh,
That's so cool that we talk to them and they show up. I'm wondering if Denise places offerings, because I heard that's a big thing too, is placing offerings for Bigfoot as well. Heard
now,
of the heard of the one where somebody left a jar of Nutella and the wrapper was lifted and Bigfoot's fingers were down in the Nutella and it created a mold while he was trying to get the Nutella out.
oh, he just wants some Nutella. They
Oh,
have a gifting stump.
yes. Oh, they have a gifting stump. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Nature can make it so they cross elimination eyes. I'm not sure what that is. Self-eliminating eyes.
Oh,
So I mean, I have theories on cryptids as a whole. I think things like Bigfoot are actually spirits, in the same way as a ghost. And there's a lot of striking similarities. I've talked about it before. How Bigfoot makes knocking noises, and yet when we go on paranormal investigations, sometimes we hear knocking in houses. Bigfoot can leave a odor or smell, and spirits sometimes can leave the odor or smell. Sometimes cigars or perfume or some kind of smell. Um, Ghosts seem to come and go as an apparition as it pleases, and somehow Bigfoot seems to appear and disappear as it pleases as well. Um, it would also lend to the theory that how come nobody has ever seen a Bigfoot body or shot a Bigfoot or hunted a Bigfoot and killed it? Because it's a ghost. You can't hunt and capture a ghost. So all these similarities are what lead me to believe that it is very possible it's some kind of energy that we just don't understand.
Yeah.
Where does that energy come from? Who knows? It come from a plane that we don't understand. Maybe it comes from Hollow Earth. Maybe all the cryptids are down in Hollow Earth and they have a way of projecting themselves to our level. It's there's a lot of theories. It's very interesting stuff. And there's a lot of similarities. You ever notice that those little gray aliens look just like the gray goblins of Hopkinsville?
I don't
That's
do,
interesting, isn't it?
I won't lie, I don't do well with aliens. Aliens
I know you don't.
aliens
But what if they're not aliens? What if they're just goblins living underground from
okay, well,
Kentucky?
they still give me a heart attack, though. They scare me more than anything else. You could lock me in a room with ghosts. I'll be a little scared, but like, I can, I can manage. No, aliens, I can't manage with. It's that I don't know why. Well, I think I know why, but like, besides, it scares me. It scares
So
me.
you must be really nervous about them talking about the object that's coming towards Earth.
Oh yeah, let's not talk about that.
Okay, we don't have to. We don't have to talk about it. It'll be here in October.
Oh yay! Right around my birthday. That's how I'm gonna celebrate my birthday, guys. An object coming to Earth. It's fine.
Yep,
It's
that's
fine.
right. It's okay.
It's
Elon Musk will save us all, right?
well. That's what he
Well,
right. Right. Um, Kaylee does have a photo. She
oh my
did send it
god.
to us. I believe Danny actually still has the photo, or it's in our group chat. I will have to hunt it down. I'm pretty sure she caught a gray, 100%. It also is probably on our our one live with me, Danny, and whatnot. She 100% caught a gray, 100%. There's no other explanation for it, and it freaked me out horribly. No, why are we not clicking? I fixed it.
Forest people. I can understand that. Calling them forest people. It lends to the same idea and theories, some kind of energy to the forest.
Yeah. I mean, I won't lie, for the longest time, my brain was so set on no, Bigfoot is a physical thing, not a ghost, not a spiritual thing.
Right?
My brain was very set on that. And then as I've learned more about the paranormal, dive deeper into the paranormal, now my brain's opening a little bit more about it. Cause like I was very dead set, no, like it's a cryptid that we haven't caught for whatever reason. They have goblins there too.
Kentucky goblins too. The Hopkinsville goblins. This is where we circle back to Hellier. This is what opened my world to things like the Kentucky goblins. There was a guy who reached out to Greg Newkirk and said that he had little gray men on his farm showing up, and then the more they dug into it, the more they realized there's a mammoth cave system that runs all through the Appalachian and goes further, and the cave system is massive. And who's to say those goblins may have come from those caves and they can travel all over the place, but when they pop up in different areas, they get misjudged, or each area labels them something different. So, like saying it's a goblin in one area, but maybe it's a skunk ape in another area, and maybe it's a pukwudgie in another area, and maybe they're all getting identified as something different, but it might be the exact same creature everywhere you go.
Oh, 100%. I'm a big horror movie buff, and that reminds me, like how you're describing it, kind of reminds me of something called The Descent. Now, Grant, it's very violent. There's a lot of murder, but like there's these gray creatures that live in this cave system that they can't see, but they have excellent hearing, like almost like bats. And that's how they hunt down their prey and unfortunately, murder the characters. But that's besides the point. But like the premise of these creatures living in this cave system, and this cave system goes on and on and on and on. So it could be anywhere.
Mm-hmm. I've heard that those mammoth cave systems, some of them actually reach up into Canada, which is wild. Blows my mind.
Haley sent me the picture of the brain
Yes.
of gray that she caught. So give me 2 seconds to bring that up. Might have to screen share if I can figure it out. I can figure it out. Oh, I can figure it out. I swear. Screen share. I want Facebook. Don't mind seeing my Facebook guys for about 2 seconds. Oh, no. Now you're seeing everything. Okay.
Ah!
You're seeing all this. Oh, this is the picture that, Kaylee caught.
Look at that.
Uh-huh. 100%.
Wow, that's kind of cool looking.
It's a excellent picture, and it reminds me a lot of the thing that I saw growing up that was in my window when I was a little kid. That's what that reminds me of, and it gives me the
You had a
creeps.
little gray guy in your window when you were growing up?
Well, okay, so he looked really tall in my defense. I will tell you the story. I'm gonna share one more photo that Kaylee shared, and this was, I believe, the Bigfoot print she got.
Interesting. Oh yeah, look at that.
So stop sharing. Okay. Bring me back. So yes, so my reason why I don't like aliens scare me. The thought of an alien scares me is because when I was a little girl, we were living in this house on Middle Valley Road, which is right in between Long Valley and Califon, New Jersey. And I was in my bedroom, and I remember feeling like I was being watched. And like I always had creepy things that happened in this house, but this was so beyond creepy for me. Where I remember sitting up, I remember looking out the window, and I saw what that picture looked like out my window and staring at me with big red eyes. And I knew it was staring at me, and it was scaring me that it was staring at me. So I slowly, like, literally crawled out of my bed, army crawled out of my room as fast as I could. And I just felt its eyes on me the entire time. And then I refused to sleep in that room for about 6 months because I was convinced it was going to come back.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, me and aliens, to me, I didn't think it was a ghost. I didn't think it was a cryptid. I 100% convinced it was an alien, and I don't think it had ill intentions. It scared me enough that it was watching me so closely, and I felt it watching me so closely, and I was like, nope, I'm good. You do your thing. I'm going to go this way, far away from you.
So does that give you the anxiety against all aliens, or just like the grays and stuff like that?
All aliens, specifically though the grays, like if I was to see a gray again, I think I would have that same fear and anxiety like I did as a kid. 100%.
I can't imagine seeing it. I can't imagine seeing one. I mean, it's got to be off-putting for sure.
Oh yeah, when you're a little kid, and don't get me wrong, my mom tried to convince me, oh, it was probably you were seeing things. And I was like, Mom, this is out my bedroom window. Mind you, it's not like I was on like the second story. It was first story. This was at like 3 in the morning, 3:30. It was not super early in the morning, but it was in that weird witching hour. And it was just standing there, and I could see its silhouette. I can see the large head, the skinny body, and the red eyes is what threw me off the most. And like I said, it didn't feel like it was negative. It just felt like it was staring at me, and I don't know why, but it was just heavily studying me, and I didn't like it. And I said, nope, I'm out. See you later. I will not.
Red eyes is interesting. To see red eyes on it that's crazy.
Yeah, no, I
never heard of that with what? I mean, what do we really know about the aliens? There could be, I mean, hopefully it's not the Greys coming to see you in October. Maybe it's the Anunnaki coming back. Who knows?
I don't want that. I don't want them to come back and see
It's
me.
probably just a big space rock passing by.
Well, who knows? Who really knows? Let's be honest here.
Yeah, David, a sign that says UFOs parked here. Yep.
Okay,
sounds right.
Hang out at your place.
Yep.
They don't get to hang out here.
Yep. We'll put the tea kettle on and have tea with the aliens. Now he's gonna get me started. Project Bluebeam.
Ooh, what's that?
So Project Bluebeam is believed that the government is actually doing a giant ruse, and there's not actually anything coming towards Earth, but they are going to use technology to simulate and make it appear like there are aliens in the sky and the atmosphere to trick the everyday society into believing that they have arrived. That raises a lot of questions on why they would want to do something like that. But the only thing I can think of is because they're already here, and we need to find a way to introduce them. But yeah, there's Project Bluebeam has been it's been talked about a lot about this, and there was a documentary series that came out not too long ago with Jeremy Corbell. And at the end of that series, on the last episode, he literally said in January, the government is going to lie to you and they're going to tell you that there is a ship heading towards Earth. And then 6 months after that aired, they told us there's a ship heading towards Earth. So he literally called it and then they did it. And that's the whole idea with Project Bluebeam starting, whether they're going to come and
Oh,
simulate maybe some kind of war up there in the sky, or they're going to come and get us, or I don't know.
okay. They can stay up there. I'll
Yep,
stay here.
I'll watch the show.
Um, Brain. Denise sent me the pictures of the Bigfoot that she has. So hang on, I gotta bring that up now.
Getting all kinds of cool photos
I
tonight.
know, right? Everyone loves me today. All right. Well, why are we going so slow? Hello. Hang on. My computer is getting angry at me for some evil reason. Okay, so here is this. Those are eyes.
Whoa, look at that. What?
These are from Denise. And then this is the other one she sent me. If I can get it to load. That's a very clear photo.
There's like a footprint there. That's interesting.
And a very large footprint. Like, even though like you can't really see the heel of the foot, you can see how large like the toes are.
Yeah. That's very interesting.
Yeah. All right, stop sharing. There we
Apparently,
go.
I just need to go down there and spend some time down there and see what we can find.
Now you need to. There's no choice in the matter. Now you need to.
I did hear another story though. Like for every compelling piece of evidence you hear, you always hear about stuff that gets debunked and stuff. And I heard a story this week about in Nepal, they were charging admission to a museum to see Bigfoot hair. And the Bigfoot hair eventually got purchased by the Smithsonian. And when the Smithsonian got the artifact, they sent the hair off to be sampled, and they found out it was just goat.
Really?
Somebody was passing it off as Bigfoot hair and making money off of it.
Oh.
So for every story and picture that we see that I think is like really cool and compelling, there's still another story out there of somebody just thinking they had the proof and they don't.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make a point of anything here. It's just it seems to be there's so much stuff when it comes to every single category. Somebody always thinks they know what a ghost is until they get proven that it might be something else.
Yeah.
You got to have an open mind and explore all of it. I always tell somebody, they're telling me they're having issues in their house, but they think it's their past relative. Maybe it is. Maybe it's something completely different and you're just programmed to believe that it's a relative.
Yeah.
It might just be something that we don't understand at all.
Yeah.
But it also could be an energy that's projecting off of your subconscious and
Oh,
creating that paranormal activity as well.
100%. So for me, after I had my daughter, I won't lie, I had some major poltergeist activity here to the point that even my husband was like, Sandy, what the fuck is going on? And I was like,
Yep.
Right after I had my daughter, then it kind of calmed down. And then like I said, the most recent activity is her toy walker going off. Now, mind you, with this walker, it has a little turn dial on it. You have to physically turn it. I double checked it. I tried taking out the batteries, putting in fresh batteries. I turned it off, turned it on. I did everything I can do to debunk it. You have to physically turn this little dial for it to go off. And all week, I would say beginning of last week into this week, it's been going off a lot. Mostly when I'm home alone or my daughter's asleep. Like, obviously, like my daughter's asleep upstairs, but like my husband's not here. And every time I tell him about it, he's like, You're fine. I'm like, no, it's going off and I can't explain it. And I ended up surprisingly catching it on film of it going off. And like, you hear me say, look, I don't appreciate you being in my home. You need to just leave. Because I don't mind spirits being here. I don't like when spirits like to touch my daughter, bug me, and touch my daughter's things, and then start to scare me. And I don't often get scared
Yeah.
with ghosts, but when it comes to my kid, I'm very, very, very protective. So I was like, you need to go. You're not welcomed here. Like, you need to vacate. And you hear, I have the toy. Now I'm going to show you the toy because I have to explain this as best I can. So this is the walker in questioning. Okay. This thing, you have to physically turn it to get it to make sound. Right now it's off because I could not take it going on and off anymore. But in the video, you hear me say, you need to leave. You're not welcomed in my home. This flicks and you hear the flick. And then you see this go off and it says, spin me again. And it starts singing. And I'm like, nope. No, we're not playing that.
I have a child's toy that was given to me as well because it kept going off in somebody's house. And this little guy here, he has some buttons in the middle there.
Yep.
And he kept going off, going, "Hi, my name is Scout. Want to play with me? Come play with me some more."
Yep.
And the toy was like off on a shelf, like not being touched and stuff. So they're like, "Can you take this? Because we think it's haunted." I'm like, "Yeah, sure." It's never really done anything here, but that happens with a lot of objects too. So it might need the connection of the energy of the place where it had the activity.
Yeah.
So maybe it's the connection in your house. I've had so many things happen before, and usually I get to the point now where, like, I've had a night where the bathroom light's coming off and on, and I'm like, "Can you stop? Because I'm trying to sleep. I have to work tomorrow." And I mean, if you really want to do something and stay here, like, you can go do the dishes or something. Like, pay your way, ghost. Go be useful in the house.
So surprisingly, I wouldn't say we ever had lights go off. Now, Grant, I definitely, I'm a firm believer. I have both my parents' ashes, and unfortunately, my grandmother's ashes. I wasn't very close with my grandmother. I actually had a lot of issues with her, but that's besides the point. I am a very firm believer with my house. There's the kids upstairs who like to cause mischief and mayhem, 100%. They like to move things and flick things on and off, or open doors, or like do like a creepy hand, like coming into a room. Down here is normally very calm energy. In my living room and kitchen, it kind of reminds me of my parents. So I'm a little bit of a firm believer that I feel like it's my parents. And then downstairs in my basement, 100%, it is an old lady who's like, get off my lawn type attitude. She does not like anyone going in her basement. Does not matter what you're doing down there. She doesn't want you down there.
I want to go in the basement.
You can go in the basement. I don't like going in my basement.
You said you see like creepy hand, like you can see an actual hand reach around or something?
Yep.
That's wild. So
I've had here 3 times since I've been living here in the last 7 years. And it's always my bedroom. We have our daughter's bedroom, which used to be what I called my she shed. That's where I used to hang out with my friends and stuff. And don't get me wrong, like when the door was shut, it kind of, there's an old keyhole, like an old fashioned where you would put a skeleton key through. It always felt like someone was sitting there watching you through it.
Oh, but that's creepy.
But nothing creepy happened. Just that constant fear, like like someone sitting there, like watching you purposely. And then in my room, for the longest time, I had to shut the door at night because I could not stand. It felt like someone was constantly there. And I mean constantly there. Like they wouldn't fully come into the room, but they would just be physically there. And the handful of times with the whole creepy hand thing, the first time it happened, it was at the very, very top of the doorway. I wasn't fully asleep yet. My husband was out cold. I felt like I was seeing someone watching me. So I look up and all I see is a creepy hand, like it's trying to come in. I said, "You need to get out of my house." Woke up my husband. He was like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "Just go back to bed." I love you, but go back to bed.
Nothing here, nothing.
Exactly. Just go back to bed. My husband's not a very big believer in the paranormal. He trusts
That's
me.
okay, though. We need those people.
He trusts me and says, "Okay, if you're seeing something, you're hearing something, I trust you in that, but I don't believe it. So when I have weird things happen, he's like, "It's okay, honey. You're fine."
They're there.
Yeah, pretty
We
much.
have
He doesn't care.
a energy in the house that was here before we got here that's fed off of a previous tenant's here's negative energy. So it kind of aggregated up into a dark shadow figure that creates a lot of activity and is
Mm,
pretty potently powerful at times. But I've been standing here, and you always hear about shadow figures. You see them go by in the corner of your eye,
mhm.
and you'll see something move, and you look. I was standing in the hallway, and I'm facing this way, talking to Dom, and I see movement in the corner. So I turn and I look, and as I'm staring straight on, I literally watch the shadow figure poke out, and I'm looking straight on, and then it pokes back, and I'm
You're
like,
just like, "Oh,
that just happened, like that. It's in daylight, like it's bright,
yeah."
like the lights were on, and it looked almost like a two-dimensional cartoon of like a shadow silhouette poking out and stood there. It's like it was there for a second it was almost like it was in disbelief that I was standing there too, and then it
Like,
pokes
"What are
back.
you doing here?"
I was like, what did I just see? And that same shadow figure, Dominic's been laying on the couch when she's home alone. I'm at work. That shadow figure she's watched face on come around the hallway doorway and walk right towards the couch and lean over her and then disappear. So this energy has gotten brave at times.
Oh,
And
that
then we started bringing haunted objects in. So now it's hard to pinpoint where the energy is coming from. Sometimes.
don't get me wrong, I thought about bringing home a haunted object before I had my kid. Now that I have my kid, I'm like, maybe not the best choice. But what you're talking about with the shadow figure, it kind of reminds me of my again my childhood house in Middle Valley, and I had a lot of shadow figures. I'm the one who discovered there were tombstones underneath our porch because way back in I believe the tombstones were in the 1800s. They died of the smallpox. It was very common to bury your loved ones on your property, and these
Yep.
little kids were buried underneath our porch. And I remember as a kid, like seeing shadow figures of small kids around the house. We were by the woods, so I remember seeing a lot of creepy. I would almost not skinwalker, not. I don't know what I would consider it, but creepy things happening in the woods that I couldn't quite explain. And it wasn't like Bigfoot energy. It was. I wouldn't say it was. I don't know, some kind of cryptid. I just don't know what.
Mhm.
And I'm the one who discovered there was a third tombstone because I decided to ask the ghosts, "What do you want?" And they, you know,
I told you.
they pointed me out to the third tombstone, which the landlord was like, "How did you discover that?" And I was like, "Do you really want the truth? Do you
Would you
really?"
believe me if I told you a ghost told me?
Yeah, and especially as a
All
little
right.
kid, my mom's trying to explain to the landlord, yeah, we found a third tombstone. Fun fact. Yeah.
So I think the possibility of the energy. I live in a small sixplex building, so it's a little apartment building with 6 units in it. But the land, there's a house on the corner, and it's an original land to the town, original house during the buildup of the town. So early 1800s, late 1700s. And when that house was put here, the land where my building is on was its backyard. And
Oh,
they would have buried their animals and their family members in the backyard during that time. So, I mean, I'm sure that they did all kinds of groundbreaking when they built the building and stuff, but who knows what they have disturbed or what they may have found and covered up.
yeah, they have
Um,
no idea.
right? So there's a lot of legislation and stuff that says here if you're digging and you find body, then it halts construction and they have to do all kinds of archaeological digs and all kinds of things to check on stuff. So, and I'm sure it happens all over the world. So sometimes when people run into things, if they don't want to halt the construction, they just rebury it and don't tell anybody about it. So, and that might disturb some energies as well. So that is very possible. What has happened here is energy has been disturbed.
Yeah. No, 100%. We're at our hour, guys. Wow, that went by really fast.
It always does. It goes fast.
Holy crap. Jason, I'm going to have you on again because this was
Anytime.
fantastic. This
Anytime,
was
as long as people want me on.
oh, y'all want him on. I'm telling y'all. But I appreciate you coming on tonight and talking.
Absolutely. And then when I do Elements of the Unknown, when I get that back up and running, we'll have you on our show as well.
I would love to be on your show.
That's great.
Perfect. Well, with that, everyone, we love you. And as Sarah says, we see you, we hear you, and we love you very, very much. I hope y'all check out his book.
My book.
Check out his book. I wanted to buy one when you were up, and I never got a chance to because my brain forgot about it. So now now I have to buy one.
We'll work on getting you one. We'll work on getting it to you.
Excellent.
Reach out to me. We'll get you a signed copy.
Ooh,
if you reach out to me, anybody that's out there that wants a copy of my book, and you can get it on Amazon or Barnes and Noble. But if you reach out to me, I am more than willing to ship you a signed copy. And usually my signed copies come with things like swag, like stickers and bookmarks. I have a bookmark theme to the book and stuff, and all kinds of different little stickers and different things that I have. So I always throw a little extra in when I'm doing that. So if you want a book, reach out, anybody.
I'm a big sticker person. Stickers go on everything. And I'm pretty sure Sarah still has her sticker jar. So, like, we need stickers.
Absolutely.
All right. With that, everyone, I hope you all have a fantastic night. Thank you for joining us. And the next show will be in about 2 weeks, and we'll go from there. See you guys.